Hi everybody, welcome to Middle English Literature. So we have a small group. I posted an initial video asking if there was interest in meeting synchronously to take the place of dialogue. It is not a requirement, and if you're not inclined to meet in person in a video meeting like this, that's all right. I'm not offended. If you are interested, I'm open to the idea. Just let me know. I sent an email out, I think last week. I definitely have the video posted in the announcements section, so take a look and let me know. If I don't hear from anybody, I'll just assume that we're going to proceed as with a usual online course. So the my plan is to kind of wait toward the end of the week or so and do kind of a recap lecture, overview. It's not quite an overview because it's not really introductory, but a recap of our readings. Now, Middle English literature can be daunting in the first instance, right? So you're looking at your textbook and it has, it looks like a foreign language, frankly. It doesn't take that long to get into it, but there is a curve. So if you feel frustrated trying to get through The Owl and the Nightingale, you're not alone. You're actually experiencing something typical and not unusual for first time readers of Middle English. Maybe some of you have encountered Middle English in a class that had Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, or maybe Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. You might have a little bit of background in it. That's fine too. It does take a little bit of work getting into, but I have found it takes about a week or two really to start getting your legs underneath you, and then you probably would be reading and understanding more than you realize. I just had a conversation with a student right before our spring break. So I'm teaching Middle English literature on campus, and one of the students in the class said, pointed out that she had to do one of the readings fairly quickly, and she was surprised at how much she understood. And then when we talked about the literature in class a little bit more, she was even more surprised at just how much she understood. So you might not have aha moments while you're reading, because it's a slog. I'll be honest with you. It can really, it can really be a slow process. However, you are making progress. Let me talk now about some of the course procedures. So for our class, we have 6 basic parts for the assignments. And if it looks like I'm kind of staring off into space, it's because I'm looking at notes here on my screen. So we have the discussion posts, and like I said, if we want to agree on a meeting time, we could handle discussion posts that way. Like, it's not a requirement. It is 10% of your grade. Take a look at the initial post requirements and the response requirements. Each week that there's a dialogue assignment, we'll draw from not only the C.S. Lewis reading, but also the Middle English literature reading. So make sure you look at both parts of the dialogue assignment. Each week I will be asking for translations. At this point, for about the first half of the session, I want your translations to be word for word. So I'm not looking for any kind of dynamism or any kind of attempt at making a modern English syntax version of your translation. I am just looking for word comprehension. Can you translate each word as it appears in the lines? You are welcome to use the gloss, the marginal gloss, in the Dun and Burns text. So the text has, so you have the regular text here, and then in the margins, a gloss that will give you definitions of words, or not definitions, but it'll give you translations of words and phrases. And you can use those glosses for your translation, the Dun and Burns glosses. But that's it. That's all I want you to use. Otherwise, just go word for word. At about halfway through the session, I will give you more freedom to render your translations maybe in more contemporary syntax. You're still welcome to go for more literal word-for-word translation if you want to. But later on in the course, I will be looking for your ability to mediate the original language for a reader that has no knowledge of the original language. Now, those translations lead up to an editing project. Now, that's the last item in the syllabus. But the editing project is an important project where you will be taking a chunk of text and translating it you'll be transcribing the Middle English and then translating the Middle English into modern English, and also including a kind of an introduction similar to what Dun and Burns have in their anthology. They'll usually have a little blurb right before the selection starts explaining who wrote it, if we know who wrote it. Most of it we don't know who wrote it. Who wrote it, maybe a plot summary, some relevant details about the plot, maybe a theme that emerges as one of the more important themes in the work, and about when it was written, where somebody could find the original text, that kind of information you'll be including in the editing project. You'll also prepare an annotated bibliography of scholarly works concerning our readings. So the big ones would be Allen the Nightingale, Kinghorn, Sir Orfeo, Pearl, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, selections from Chaucer, Piers Plowman, and there's a lot of scholarship on those works. So you can get a collection of scholarship, and you would do an annotated bibliography the same way you would do it in English 102. So if you've taken English 102 here at Regent, then you know the drill. If you didn't have to take English 102 here at Regent, then you probably already are familiar with what an annotated bibliography is. If you need a refresher, send me an email. I'm happy to address that on a case-by-case basis. Ideally, the annotated bibliography would contribute to an analysis essay, something that analyzes one of the works of literature we're looking at in the usual literary paper format, something you may have encountered in high school, even if you're homeschooled, something that you might have encountered in other college classes previous to this one too. So English 211, that would be an example of a class that has a literary analysis paper, or English 205 has a literary analysis paper. This one would be a research paper, of course, so you would be incorporating outside scholarly sources. And then there is an application essay based on the C.S. Lewis readings. So the discarded image is C.S. Lewis's collection of lectures that he gave while he was at Oxford and Cambridge to students who were learning about medieval literature, and he is drawing first from classical sources and then showing how those ideas permeate medieval writing. So there's a ton of medieval writing that exists, and so much of it just assumes a classical view of the world, a classical view of humanity, classical view of the universe, the physical universe, and so on and so forth. So the application essay will be your response to Lewis, and you can take a look at the prompt on Blackboard for details on those assignments. All right, so in the meantime, I'll say goodbye for now, and then I will come back later on in the week with kind of a recap summative view of our readings for the course. If you have any questions for me in the meantime, you're welcome to reach out via email. If, like I said at the beginning, if you are interested in potentially meeting for a Zoom call or something like that online, or Blackboard Collaborate, let me know, because we can use those to take the place of dialogue. It's not a requirement though, and like I said, my feelings aren't hurt if you're not able to do it. All right, I love teaching this course. I love teaching it on campus and online. I am glad that you are in the course. We have a small group, which allows for some flexibility. It allows maybe for a little more personal attention on my part for you as students. I'm glad you're here, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.